What's up, my beautiful people? This is Kristen Peoples coming to you with bossofculture.org. I hope you're doing super fabulous today. I just hit you with some attracts money incense. Yes, so I hope that you receive that and just know that money is coming to you. And you guys, I want you to understand that whatever you believe, it comes to pass. It truly does. And that's what this channel is all about. It is all about navigating the toxic work environment and tapping into your highest potential, because the reason why you're here is because your light is bright and you're being hated on and you just need to be amongst the stars. So if you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you consider subscribing to this channel, because we talk about leveling up to your highest potential and how to get through what we're all going through, what we've all been through, which is workplace bullying abuse and that psychological abuse that can affect you over time, but you can overcome it, because people, the whole reason for them doing this is to dim your light. I want to start off by, first of all, congratulating two of my subscribers here, because they understood the assignment when it came to my birthday sweepstakes. I had a giveaway, and it is for a one-on-one 1-hour session with me. So I had two lucky winners, and I would like to congratulate Miss Kitty Kitty. So Miss Kitty Kitty, if you could please provide me with your email address, I want to set up a time where we can strategize on how you can level up to your highest potential, because honey, I felt your energy actually through your comments, and also just through your subscription. I already know that we're gonna vibe and we're gonna get some things done. My other winner is Trini Empress 28. Trini, same thing with you, honey. I have been reading your comments in the comment section, and I just know that you and we're going to accomplish some great things in terms of you tapping into your highest potential. So you guys get on over to either DMing me where you're seeing this video, or leave me a comment with your email address, or email me at info@bossofculture.org. That's info@bossupculture.org, and we'll go ahead and get you started and leveling up. You guys, this video is going to be a little triggering, if you will. So I want to give you a warning based on some of the comments that I have received. And the reason I'm doing this video in dedication to a few comments that I read that concern me is that I want people to understand. I want everyone that comes across my channel to know that if you're dealing with a difficult time at work, with being mistreated at work, or even being mistreated in your personal life, I want you to understand, number one, that you're not alone, and number two, that it is not your fault. Everything that you are going through when it comes to someone inflicting something, some kind of pain or some kind of mistreatment towards you, just know that it is never about you. It is always about that person. Now, if you look around, you see you guys that the scene is a little bit different today. I'm in the dining room today because hubby is up in the bedroom where I normally film in my dressing area, and the Michigan-Ohio game is on. So if you hear some screaming and some cheering, him and my sons, they are, they're a little bit excited because we're in the fourth quarter. I think we got like 4 minutes left, and they are whipping on Ohio. So just a heads up, if you hear a little something, this is YouTube. So you are in my home, and welcome once again. So before we get started, you guys, I want to make sure that I hit you with the affirmation of the day. And you guys, these affirmations and this healing card that I pulled, they're so fitting for today's message. And I hope that when you guys tune into these videos, that you truly feel my energy, that I truly want the best for you. And that's the reason why I take the time to share the incense, the healing of the incense, the healing of the affirmations, because you guys, these are the things that help me. So I can respect if you want to fast forward through some of these, because I do see sometimes when people put timestamps, and thank you so much for the people that do put the timestamps into my videos. But for those people that want to know how I truly embarked upon my healing journey, these are the things that help me. Incense, essential oils, meditation, affirmations, that type of thing. Anything that could make me feel good, anything that could give me empowerment, that's what I was all about. And that's what the beginning of my videos are typically about, sharing that experience with you guys step by step. because I want you guys to know exactly what I did to heal. And I'm still healing to this day because it is a healing process, honey. It took you all these years to deal with this workplace bullying abuse and psychological abuse, and it's going to take some time for you to get back to you. So I'm just trying to show and share. So this affirmation comes to you from the beautiful Louise Hay, and it says, all is well in my world. And you guys, you better believe all is well in your world, even when it doesn't feel like it. It continues to say, everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. You guys, the last 3 words, I am safe, is what I want you guys to focus on. Because when you are dealing with abuse of any kind, the first thing you feel is unsafe. And I want you to know that when you start loving on you, which is the first step, you have to believe that you are safe. When you remove yourself from situations, and I know that when you're in a work situation, and sometimes you may even be in a domestic situation where you can't get up and go right then and there, but you can start making plans so that you can ensure that you are safe. But know that ultimately you will be safe if you put you first and love on you and know that you are worthy to be safe. So everything is working out for your highest good, you guys. Believe that. Believe that everything that you're going through, it is a lesson. And every person that you come across in life is a teacher, whether it be a child or an adult. You are learning from these people, and it's whether or not you learn the lesson. You guys, the other affirmation I have from you, and this is from the Sacred Self-Care deck, and it says, flow like water. And you guys, what it means when you flowing like water is, I actually interpret it 2 ways. And the book says something else, but the one way I interpret it is the fact that if you're in a situation where you're not flowing like water, where you're feeling like a fish that's swimming upstream all the time, or any situation, if you're in a friend situation, if you're in a relationship situation, you always feel like you got to fight against the current, you're not in the right place. If you're flowing, then that's where you're supposed to be. But if you're not, then you know you need to find somewhere else where you can flow freely. The other thing, and this is the actual meaning of the card, is something that I actually tried as well, is that when you're dealing with the pressures of the day and you're dealing with the pressures of abuse of any kind or mistreatment of any kind, it was a ritual for me, you guys, to wash away the day. Wash away each and every day. Make a point, set an intention that when you are taking a shower or taking a bath, or if you're out in a lake swimming, wherever you may be, even in a pool of water or a stream or a lake, see yourself physically releasing what no longer serves you. If it even helps for you, if you have a body of water near your home, I have streams and stuff in our subdivision, and I've oftentimes written things down that I would like to release. And I put those things, I'll write it down on a piece of paper, a small piece of paper, and I just release it in the stream and I watch it float away. So hopefully those are some things that can help you. So you guys, let's get to some of the comments that concern me, and I want to make sure that you guys know that you're not alone. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to move forward from here. This one really was disturbing, but I'm going to show you how to work this one out. A young lady or young man reached out to me the other day and said, my manager says I have to go to therapy, that I need to relax into the job when she shouts at me in meetings and pulls my work apart. When she has made me cry, I look at her and she is smiling. She has extended my probation for vague and not believable reasons, and now I'm shaken up due to having a panic disorder. I'm making mistakes, and now she has a real reason to fire me. My comment to her was, number one, I need to do a video on this one, because this manager clearly has some issues. Clearly, the fact that she is smiling is that she is getting satisfaction out of your anxiety. And I did a video about this before, how often bullies, they feed on our anxiety. They feed on our fear. And when we're not at work, that's when they go crazy, because I remember I shared with you guys before how my manager when I went on sick leave, it was driving her nuts because she could not get a hold of me. She was calling my house phone, calling my personal cell phone, calling my work phone, my work cell phone, emailing me, because I fed her with the fear. The fear of, like she says, I'm making mistakes and now she has a real reason to fire me. Well, let me tell you guys something. And in all these cases, it's going to all, and my answer is going to pretty much be the same in all these. And I'm going to still go through and read your comments because all of your comments are important and they need to be shared because they can help someone else. You need to realize that a lot of these workplaces, they were built on instilling fear in people. Because when you instill fear in people, that keeps your employees in line, right? So when people are seeing you mistreated, the reason why they're not going to speak up is because they don't want to be the next person in line. But guess what? Somebody else is going to be the next person in line when you leave. And we don't want you to do like I did, taking 10 years of abuse only for the inevitable to happen. No, I was not fired. And I was able to take advantage of my benefits and retire. Okay. And that's why I tell you guys to make sure that you understand what your benefits are. Understand that employee handbook so that you're not just taking FMLA, unpaid leave, and thinking, hey, my job is protected. I just did a video about that too. I just did a short about that. Make sure that you understand if you have short-term disability, to take it, to take care of you. Make sure that you do go to therapy in this person's case, because a therapist will definitely help you in more than one way. A therapist is going to help you get to the root of why you're sick. And 9 times out of 10, most of you guys are tuning into this channel because your job is making you sick. Your job is a direct link to your disorder. I'm going to share another comment with you because, again, like I said, my suggestion is going to pretty much be the same. So I want you guys to stick around for that. Another individual wrote, I was sick from work due to anxiety, which led to abdominal issues. Horrible experience of feeling genuinely sick and having friends and family make me feel as though I am weak for taking time off, as though my sickness was made up. I told them, no one has the right to tell you how to feel. No one knows your truth better than you do. So don't allow friends, family, or anyone make you feel as if you are weak, because your strength comes in you taking care of yourself. And yes, I've had people in my family give me advice and they genuinely love me and care for me. But I had to learn that my own inner self, I call it my higher self, my soul, you can call it whatever you want, but you know that voice inside that speaks to you and tells you when you should be going right as opposed to left. That's that voice you need to learn to tap into when you know that your body is feeling these things, and your body is feeling these things because you don't need to be in an environment that's going to exacerbate that. Because I've had other people write in and tell me that they've been in the hospital. Here's another one. I've landed in the hospital for an abdominal condition. Once again, another abdominal condition, which was triggered by stress and ultimately led to surgery. Think about that for a second. I ended up in the hospital again a year ago while under significant stress. I barely had any time to eat, drink, and nevertheless used the restroom. I woke up in the middle of the night from chest pain and thought I was having a heart attack. That's an anxiety attack as well. The most recent bullying intimidation tactic incident led me to leave after I already reported this individual several times. You guys, it's all about standing up for yourself. It's all about understanding your benefits, taking a leave if you need to, because again, the inevitable is the inevitable. Once you have been targeted, there's nothing that you can do. There's no amount of work that you can do to change these people's minds. You're in the crosshairs, and it's just a matter of time before you continue to choose the job or you choose to choose yourself. what will it be? Because for me, for 10 years, I chose the job. Only for me to be sick and in the hospital and having issues with my family and my friends, almost losing everything because I thought a glass of Chardonnay or two was going to help me at the end of every day, which began to become a problem for me because that was a crutch that I held on to for after work. It was something that was socially acceptable, but I heard in my heart of hearts, this isn't right. Why do you have to come home and have a glass of wine or two or three every day? This is becoming an issue. And then when I sat down and really thought about the issue and all the things that were going on in my life, and when my life was spiraling out of control, one thing it led back to was the fact that I was in an environment that was making me sick. And guess what happened when I left that environment, you guys? When I finally chose me, my friendships were smooth sailing again. My relationships with my family members were back where they needed to be. I was myself again. I liked being around myself again. I had time to think and listen to my inner self. I was able to, be able to go a day without drinking because I was not in a situation that was toxic. That job made me sick. And you're here because your job is making you sick. And my question again to you is, what are you going to do about it? Because there's nothing that you can do to change that job. There's nothing that you can do. And one day, just you, that one person, is not going to change the culture of that company. It's going to take a bunch of us, a movement of us, getting up and removing ourselves from toxic work environments. And also, you guys, I've talked to you guys about the Dignity at Work Act. And you can learn about that on my website at bossupculture.org. Make sure that you email your state rep. You can find your state rep also on my site. Just type in your zip code and it will take you straight to who your state rep is, and email them and tell them, hey, there is psychological safety hazards at my job that are causing people to be sick, and share your story and tell them how important it is for them to support the Dignity at Work Act. Between us leaving toxic work environments and between us having our state representatives and senators do their jobs, which is represent us, that is how we're going to get this work culture to change. You are powerful. And they see that, and that's what the concern is. See, when they saw me, they came for me because I am their worst nightmare. I am their worst nightmare now that I'm on the outside, where I'm not under control, than I ever was. Let me tell you something else too. And I was talking to my daughter earlier this morning, and I was telling her about, me staying in the job so long and me thinking that I couldn't find anything better because I was making six figures and I had this, elaborate job title, and I had the benefits and I had the seniority and I had all of that. I got to work from home and I was on salary. I didn't have to be in at a certain time. I didn't have to leave at a certain time. I could take my lunch whenever I wanted to. But the abuse was so real. That's what trapped me, and that's what kept me in, because I didn't think I could find anything better. I've been at that job since I was 18 years old, so I didn't know anything better, right? But I quickly learned that stepping out on my own, I'm making as much money now on the outside than I could ever make there being miserable. Remember that, and I'm not a religious person by any means, but God was my provider. Whoever your God is, whoever you plug into, whoever your source is, whoever is the person or the entity that you pray to, if it's Mother Earth, whomever it is, you got to believe that you are better than where you are right now. You got to believe that you are more than a number, that if you pick up and leave today, they wouldn't care because it wouldn't make a difference, because they wanted you out of there anyway because your light was shining too bright. And the people that were so insecure about your light shining too bright because you could easily do their job, and that's what it was all about, because of professional jealousy, because of their own insecurities. I'm telling you, you hold too much power and you're giving these jobs too much credit. And I'm telling you guys right now what to do. My mission when I left up out of there was to show you guys the way. to give you guys the map, to give you the roadmap, so you don't have to go through 10 years of wandering in the wilderness like I did. I'm letting you know that if you are seeing the signs, they're not going to change. If you're seeing the signs in a relationship that you're being mistreated, they're not going to change. The first slap is going to be another one. And it's going to be a second one and a third one until you get beat down. And that's the same thing with that job that's abusing you. So let me get on to the next one. This happened to me, and I worked so hard over the pandemic when everyone was remote at home. It was so sad, and the experience broke my heart. They used me for 3 years and threw me out like garbage. And that's what they want you to feel like. They want you to feel like garbage. I had a live on my TikTok channel the other day. And you guys, if you're not following me on TikTok, make sure that you do. I am Boss of Culture org on TikTok as well. But you guys, I did a live on TikTok, and there was a couple people telling me that they are trying to just get over the fact that they were too thrown out like garbage. And I'm here to tell you that you're not garbage. You are a star. They see that, and it is driving them crazy that they can't be half of the person that you are. I'm going to share this last one with you, and then I'm going to, again, let you know what my suggestion is. Again, you guys, I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a lawyer. So disclaimer for every video on this channel. These are my personal experiences, and this is what I would do. The advice that I give is the advice that I would give one of my best friends, my children, because the fact that I have been there and I don't want to see you guys going through this. I want to create, actually I've already created this movement, bossofculture.org. The reason why I even started my nonprofit organization is so that you guys could be in the know of knowing when you're being mistreated and knowing that you guys can escape, because I felt trapped for so many years. And I'm here to let you guys know that I'm here to free you. You just got to take the information. You got to be afraid not to step off of the ledge, if you will, of freeing yourself by loving yourself and putting your foot down and standing up for yourself. Last thing from another lovely subscriber. There was a time at work where I was going to end up in the hospital for nicotine overdose. My job had me so stressed that I was smoking up to 10 times per day. I wanted to numb the pain I was going through. Recently, I've cut down on the nicotine, and eventually I'm going to quit completely. I'm going to start feeling those emotions instead of numbing myself constantly with nicotine. You guys, again, I shared my own story of how I called her Nene, Chardonnay, was my escape each and every day until that escape became an issue for me. And I'm glad that this person was able to see that, hey, I'm not trying to smoke every day. Like me, when I was coming home every day having that glass of wine or 2 or 3, I was just like, Chris, this is not you. But I was like, oh, but I got a handle on this. I need to forget what happened to me today. I need to forget that I got cussed out today. I really want to punch your lights out, but I'm going to numb what I'm going through. And I love the fact that she said, I'm going to start feeling those emotions, because the only way you're going to get through it is to feel it. Let it come on. Deal with it. And I know that is our worst nightmare, is to deal with emotions, but I'm telling you, the only way you are going to get to the other side of those emotions, you're going to keep hitting a brick wall. You're going to keep leaning on the weed, leaning on the alcohol, leaning on the nicotine, leaning on the shopping, the sex, the eating, whatever your vice is. You're going to have to just take a breath and say, you know what? Let me feel this for a second. Because this is a feeling that I don't want to feel anymore, and it's going to force you. It is going to force you to face whatever you're trying to ignore, because you can only numb this for so long. Because the numbness is as long as your buzz, or whatever the case may be. I never smoked cigarettes, so I don't know. Well, I did smoke cigarettes back in the day, but I wasn't like that. But I'm just saying, and there's nothing wrong with being like that, but I'm just saying that, nicotine just was not my thing of choice. I tried smoking, it wasn't my thing. And I just thought that, maybe drinking or smoking some weed every now and again was my way to relax. But whenever something becomes more than in moderation, you really need to start addressing what is the root of my issue. I'm gonna tell you guys, back to the drinking again. I know the day that I saw drinking wine as my escape. And I have the date written down. It was May of, I want to say 2000 and, was it 2018? I got it written down. But I remember the moment. See, you guys, I have a memory like an elephant. That's what one of my managers told me. He said, you have the memory of an elephant. I do. And that has been a blessing and a curse for me. It's been a blessing because I know how to come home and document some things while I was at work. But it's a curse, the fact that I can remember things and I can feel those things all over again. But you guys, I remembered it was the fact that I felt so unsafe at work. And this particular day I came home and I poured myself a glass of wine, and my doctor took me off work a couple days, and I just remember holding that glass of wine, and it was cold, and I just felt relaxed as I drank it, and I said, I am safe. I don't want you guys to put your safe feeling in anything that is getting you through. I want you to put your own safety in your own hands. Put your safety in you loving yourself, because those things that temporarily help you get through things can easily become an issue in that way. So I share all these comments with you guys, and like I said, I read your comments, I print them out, and some of them really, really hit home because I've been there and I've done that. And I don't ever want you guys to feel like you're ever alone. Know that you are powerful, and know that my advice to all of you would be to find a replacement ASAP. I never tell you to quit your job, because when you quit, you walk away from a lot of valuable benefits. But you alone cannot change the culture of that company. You alone is not going to say, hey, stop it right now, and they're going to start treating you nice. Somebody made a comment in one of the comments. I can't remember if it was my YouTube channel or was it TikTok, but someone said, hey, they were abusing me, but it stopped for a while. It stopped, and I think I'm okay. Yeah, it stopped for me for a minute too, and then it came back even worse. So again, like I said, and like Maya Angelou said, once they show you who they are, you better believe them. I'm telling you. So you guys, once again, I will say, take care of you first. Find a replacement. If you need to go on leave, take your leave. They're going to fire you. They're going to fire you anyway. So do not be afraid to take your leave. Do not find out what your benefits are. Take advantage of those benefits. If you got some vacation, take them. But be finding another job. If you need to find you an attorney because you have so much documentation that you can put in a complaint on these companies, do that. And make sure when you leave, make sure that you leave them a review on all the review boards. And you guys, I'm going to list those review sites in the description box below, so make sure that you check it out. Make sure that you leave a review so other people don't find themselves in that place too. Because if enough of us start leaving these companies, then they don't have no employees. Who are they going to get to work for them? Because the other thing I'm going to suggest for you to do is the next job that you find, you're going to go to those same review sites and see what people have to say. And then when you do get that new job, you're going to interview them just like they're interviewing you to find out how they deal with toxic work environments. What's accepted in their work environment. You're going to not take the job right away because you need to look over their employee benefits. You need to understand their benefits. We need to not be so eager to jump into a job where everything looks, nice on the outside, only to be ugly on the inside. We have to start learning to listen to our inner voice and understand our discernment. Understand that we all have a level of discernment, and we need to listen to that because so many times we ignore that. And I want to end this video as we're talking about abuse, is that there is a story that has really, really, really is really called in my interest, and I hope I don't get choked up talking about this because this story really bothered me because I have a daughter, and it's the Shanquella Robinson. What happened to her in Mexico, going to Mexico with these so-called friends. That's why I tell you guys to listen to that inner voice, because I recall in one of the reports that I was hearing that she had told her mother that, that people were acting strange towards her, and even when I looked at some of the video of her walking around the house trying to find her friends, and just how all the girls were like together and she was like the outsider, I really wish that young lady had the gift of discernment, because no one deserved to be beaten the way she was. And you guys, that was abuse beyond. Abuse beyond. No one deserves to be treated that way. So I hope that we can all learn to treat people the way we would all like to be treated. This world would be a much better place. And I pray, and I just know with all my heart that they will get justice for Shanquella, and extradite all of those sick people, extradite them all back to Mexico, because what they did is the unforgivable, and they will be, all of them, each and every one of them. I'm putting it out there that they will all be held responsible. So let's just make sure that we all treat people the way we want to be treated. And if there's a person that is in your space that you don't want to be around, don't surround yourself with that person. But God, don't, and this is also for some of these companies out here that employ people that get up every day just to abuse people. For me, I heard that it was a game. These people got off on mistreating me. And I can imagine that the people that are at your jobs that are doing the same thing to you, this is what fuels them. This is, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is what feeds them. And people like to have power over people they are jealous of. If they see that you have something that they don't have and they never will, that is when you become a problem. And that is where I had an issue with this case on this young lady, because all they had to do was either ask her, how do I get to where you are, as opposed to doing what they did to her. And that's the same thing with you guys that tune into this channel. If they want to know how you are so successful, why don't they just ask you? Because you are an asset to their company. You don't deserve to be mistreated. So I hope this video has been helpful to someone out there, and may you continue to believe in yourself. And again, you guys, listen to that inner voice, because that inner voice will never steer you astray. You got to learn to start trusting yourself. And that was one thing, that was the biggest mistake that I ever made, and that I ended up in that situation as long as I did, because I did not trust myself. And when I finally started listening to myself and started trusting myself, that's when I started making moves in the right direction. And I'm hoping the same for you. So may you attract some money, may you attract love for yourself, and may you continue to tune into this channel. Make sure you like this video, share, comment, and subscribe most of all. I'm Kristen Peoples with bossofculture.org. If you have it within your heart to please donate to my nonprofit organization to ensure that people that do not have mental health care, that they are able to afford it. Make sure that you donate as much as you can. If it's $1, if it's $5, people need your help so that they can heal, and they can do it with your help. We're all about changing lives one person at a time here. And do know that all of your donations are tax deductible. I love you. Until next time. Bye.